worked on these couple days that you've had since?
Yeah, we worked on execution, timing of our offensive sets, and then the communication on defense, and just normal practice stuff that you need to sharpen it up every once in a while. And obviously, one game isn't going to derail us from or going to knock us off the path at all. It's just a reminder in order to win games in this league and try to do it consistently, you got to be sharp and aggressive on both ends of the floor, executing. And we understand that.
Just Kevin and Draymond, maybe have a heated conversation. Is that just healthy? Good. That's going to happen once in a while, as much time as you guys are together.
Yeah, because we know it's really nothing. It's constructive to try to understand how we're going to get better, and it comes from a place of respect, between everybody on this team, including those two guys. So nobody takes anything personal. Nobody goes home and cries about it. It's about everybody wants to win, and in that moment, it might get heated. It might happen in front of cameras. It might happen in the locker room. It might happen in practice. It might be a phone call, offline, whatever. Those kind of conversations need to happen so that we continue to try to get better and challenge each other to not get complacent.
That was notable from that video was that they're going at it and nobody on the bench is even really reacting to it. It's just kind of just something, right? I mean, it's not anything where you're going to jump up and push them apart or anything like that. Were you in the middle of that and you just kind of, whatever, just another thing?
It's like I said, it comes from a place of respect. There's nothing that's going to boil over to anything where it gets out of control. So we understand what it is. And like I said, it's all geared towards getting better.
Can you imagine how Kevin might feel going back to Oklahoma City for the first time this weekend and what that could be like for everybody?
Nah. I'm sure he'll try to keep it as normal as possible, but there are going to be emotions that he'll have. He left a lot of blood, sweat, and tears there in OKC for a long time, and that becomes a part of who you are. And even though he's with us and moved on to the next chapter, this will be probably the first time he gets to, familiar smells, sights of the arena and all that kind of stuff. So, hopefully once the game starts, he'll be able to lock in and be himself, and I'm sure he will. But you want him to be able to, I don't know how the fans will react, but that doesn't matter. It's more he would appreciate what he built there for so long, because that's special. Anybody in this league that can be a face of a franchise for so long and represent inspiration and hope for so many people over so many years. You hope people will appreciate that, regardless of what decision he made, this summer. So that's the biggest thing. It's sports, so it's going to go probably both ways, which is okay. But for him to be able, like I said, just appreciate what he was able to accomplish there, and he grew up there pretty much into a man. So it's hard to turn off.
If they were hard on him, and it was incredibly hostile, do you feel like it would motivate you and his teammates even?
Yeah, sort of like in a different way, like the Sacramento game where it was kind of dead, and then Coach Curry gets fired up, and we got a lot of life into us. Even though we didn't win, we showed some heart, and it took Coach going through that to make it happen. I feel like when we go into OKC, it'll be a game that we want to win and help KD kind of accomplish that. So we'll be ready either way. But if that kind of environment happens, it'll fire us up to get ready to go.
He seems to play better on emotion. Do you notice that too? The last couple times against them.
If you want to call it that. He likes big games, so however you want to, whatever the narrative is, he'll show up ready to play.
How much does it help team chemistry and stuff when you guys have no losing streaks?
Well, I think we really rally around that next game after a loss to try to use that as a short-term goal, and that's the only thing that matters is to win the game tomorrow. So whatever it's going to take to get that job done, we gotta be ready for it. But you can still learn lessons and get punched in the face and have to look yourself in the mirror every once in a while as a team, even when you're winning, if you hold yourself to a certain standard every single game of how you're playing, which is how we see each game. It's not so much if we win by 20, win by 1, it's how we got the job done. Even though the locker room might be a little more joyful after a win than a loss, it's still those lessons are learned pretty well.
You have an interesting perspective, having been on Warriors teams of past that haven't realized this level of success. So, like, losing streaks then, how did that affect you even?
It was hard. It was hard for me my first 2 or 3 years because obviously you come from winning high school team and winning college team. You don't really know what losing streaks are like. And then you get up here, you don't want it to become the norm. You don't want to let it be just another day out. We lost. We kind of turn the page. You don't ever want to go out like that, even though in the league it's in certain situations it's really hard to get wins. And in those days you showed up, and even if you played your A+ game, you still might not have enough talent or whatever the case may be to get the win. And so that's a very tough emotional battle to have, especially as you're getting your feet wet in the league. We used to have freaking team meetings like every other week, just trying to figure stuff out. And not so much how we're going to win championships, just how we're going to win games. And so that's a different mindset. So it definitely makes you appreciate what we're talking about now. Like, we don't lose 2 in a row, or why did y'all only win by 5 versus 30? Like, stuff like that. It's a lot of work goes into it, obviously, but the narratives are definitely different than my first 3 years.
What do you think are the main things behind this team's ability to self-correct so well? I mean, is it individual? Is it group? Is it coaches? Where's it
It's everything, and it's our experiences we've been through, and I think just the foundation we build about how we play and how we win games, that it's hard to kind of get off that wagon too far before you can get back on track. So winning is important to us, and the streak sounds good even if it didn't, if it was cut in half or something like that. It's still, the mentality is the same. And we just figured out a way to get it done.
Thanks a lot, Steph.